What up, what up, what up? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Smooth Orator. Welcome to Negroes with a Podcast, NWAP, or NWAP cast, however you want to phrase it. This is episode 15. Episode 15, season 4. I am the host, Smooth Orator.
Tunde, talk 7.
Oh, that was aggressive.
It's a Negro intro.
And we are, I don't know.
This is. Man, we really do need like a little producer drop.
I mean, I'm
trying to tell you. With a podcast to do like Captain Planet.
That's way too Caucasian. What you just did right there. This is not that kind of podcast.
This is not.
So yeah, of course, you can follow us. Well, wait, all that information is in the drop, right? Well, who gives a shit? You can follow us on NWAP Cast on Twitter, NWAP on Facebook, NWAP Cast on Instagram. We have officially launched the website finally, which is nwapcast.com. No? What?
Yeah, go ahead. It's live. We're still connecting all the old episodes, but you can check it out and let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think. We've got email subscriber list on that piece. You can subscribe directly on the site by clicking the big ass subscribe button that Alexa's provided for you. And yeah.
Niggas, and just in case niggas can't read, that shit is extra big.
That shit is extra big. You know what I'm saying? We got podcast profiles. Oh no, we have a podcast Q&A on there. If you're a new listener or if you're a long time listener, if you want to read that, that's fine. We got bios on there. We look all like extra well, y'all niggas look professional. I'm in that bitch like being fake swole with a fitted hat. I lost that hat.
You look professional right now though. You should take a picture.
Yeah, this is I just got off work flow.
You look nice. For everybody watching, I hope you appreciate the non-white tee.
This is the
G that you get today.
Right, this is the Tunde swag right here. The short sleeve, button up that's button all the way to your motherfucking nose and shit. Got that from my dog Tunde. Appreciate that.
That's a Maryland thing when they button them shits all the way to the top.
All the way. Niggas can't breathe. It's Jamaican too. My stepdad do that shit.
They wear closets.
My stepdad do that shit. Like he be wearing polos and that shit be tied all the way up to his neck. I'm like, dog, can you not look like a 50-year-old Jamaican, please? They be like, why I top mode? They're like, nah, he can't help himself. So before we get into today's show, what's going on with y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all living? What's going on?
Man, I feel good. I was trying not to drink, but I might have to pull out my little bottle. I keep one in my desk now.
Oh, you're not drinking?
I don't know. I saw Des got his little drink, so I might just shoot from the bottle.
I don't think Tunde needs to drink. This nigga just showed up over a wife beater. He clearly going through some life issues right now.
Right, aggressive as hell, wife beater. Like, what's going on?
Beard all the way out.
I just woke up from a nap.
Yeah, you look like it.
I'm about to say, at the beginning, we asked G if we need help with our life. That's what I be doing. So if you need to do that.
Cool. And I'm sleeping.
G's corner. G's therapist corner.
Take advantage of it.
Shit, if y'all got questions, listeners, y'all got some questions y'all want a nigga to answer. I got a degree in psychology, you know what I mean? And I got a legal degree. You know what I mean? I might be able to help you out a little bit. I'm not a lawyer.
You might get people out of a jam.
I'm not a lawyer. Let me just say that because I don't want no problems with the feds on that. But I'm gonna have a little advice for you. You know what I'm talking about? But I mean, if nobody want to talk about their life, and since we're talking about niggas' legal problems, let's get into today's first topic. So we've got a serial rapist, a serial sexual assaultist. Yeah. I don't know what this nigga is, yo. So if you haven't been following everything, like this nigga's a rapist, a child molester, a sexual abuser. This nigga hit like every fucking sexual assault topic on the bingo table, dog. Like this nigga's wilding out. So if you haven't heard, I don't even know if his trial. No, I think the trial is over. I think he might be in sentencing or about to get sentenced. We're talking about.
He got like
75 years.
Yeah, he got 40. I think
like 40 to 175.
Okay, so we're talking about Dr. Larry Nassar, Nassar, who gives a fuck how his name's pronounced? He don't get no respect on his fucking podcast. He was an Olympic team doctor. Olympic team doctor who also worked out of Michigan State. And apparently this nigga was wilding out and sexually abusing everybody. So the last time I checked, there was something like 150 women and girls from all over the goddamn place, from the Olympic team, the current Olympic team, which would include, Ali Reisman, Simone Biles, and Gabrielle Douglas, or Gabby Douglas. People at Michigan State that he molested. During his sentencing, all of these people were reading statements. People were posting on Twitter saying that they were sexually abused by this guy. Michigan State is in some deep shit. The president stepped down. I believe the athletic director stepped down. They put a heat on Mark D'Antonio and Tom Izzo, who is the basketball and football coach respectively at Michigan State University. ESPN did an outside the lines report detailing like some of this shit, and it is pretty fucking ridiculous. One of the first things that I did notice was that a lot of the girls were saying that they told other adults about what happened, and the adults either A, covered it up, or B, didn't believe the girls were being molested. One father whose daughter informed him what was happening, the father didn't believe his daughter, and all this stuff came out, and he committed suicide, which is very sad. This is pretty fucking ridiculous. I saw one guy on the news. He was talking about his wife who had been molested by Dr. Nassar, and he was talking about how, when the news first broke out, like his wife was actually defending Dr. Nassar because she didn't admit to herself what happened. And he was talking about how his wife's been having nervous breakdowns, how like their entire family's affected by it, how him as a husband is personally affected by it, like trying to stand by his wife and stuff. So this is just a big fucking mess. Let's get some early comments on that.
I think the interesting part is how it's so much of a mind fuck that people's parents, like, I don't know, it's almost like a denial, I bet, within their own minds to be like, that didn't really happen, like to not look into it. But they said none of the parents like questioned them, or nobody was like, well, let me go in the room with you or anything like that.
I haven't like read like a specific,
like it's like 100 and something women, right?
Like 150 plus.
Like that's a lot of people. That's like every patient he's ever had. He just went ham.
But what's crazy is if 150 people came forward, there's got to be like another 150 who just like, I don't want no parts of this shit.
Yeah, I don't even want to be on blast.
Yeah, because he was the team doctor for a while, and he was working at Michigan State, obviously, for a while too. Tunde.
I think it's gross.
Is Tunde frozen? Oh, Tunde.
Yeah, my bad.
Do you have a comment, nigga?
Yeah, you gotta get some stuff off his chest.
For a second. I hope he goes to jail and he's raped every fucking day in jail.
He better be.
Don't do that.
Nah, fuck that.
They gonna put him in a special case though.
Fuck that.
Ooh, he out of here.
He's out of here. Fuck that. Fuck him.
Ooh, yuck. Ugh. He should kill himself.
He's going to.
He got to.
I give him like 5 years. I'm tops.
Yeah, but as far as other people, like other adults, not believing or covering up what was going on, like over that amount of time, I think it's fucked up on their part as well. I think even I forgot his name. The NCAA president.
Oh yeah, Mark Emmert.
Mark Emmert. That piece of shit.
He might step down now. So
did nobody else like get pulled down with him? Because some other adult had to have been like, "Oh, I'm not going to say anything." Somebody had to.
Of course. I think
like, and I wonder who the nurses were. Like, if he had women nurses or other male nurses or something.
Yeah. So, another adult, at least one adult has to be criminally liable for this shit too. So it'd be interesting to see what the fallout is following this, as far as the criminal case goes.
Des?
I was gonna say, and not in the severity or details of the case or whatever, Lauer thing, like when we found out Matt Lauer had
was locking chicks in his room with the special button and shit.
Right, yeah, the special button for the door.
Mm.
And what I said about Matt Lauer was like, okay, Matt Lauer is a news guy. He's not a carpenter. He's not an electrician. He doesn't know how to install a magnetic bolt into a door. Somebody paid for that bolt. Somebody knew that it existed. Somebody knew that the button existed. Like there are multiple parties at fault, or multiple parties that are legally liable. Somebody had to know. This guy in a vacuum. And these aren't nobodies, man. These are Olympians. This guy, somebody was actively covering that up. Somebody was actively telling these girls, like, oh, it's not, that's just a part of the procedure, or, this is what it is. Like, there's no way that there aren't other complicit adults. And I think that's about to be the fallout. And I hope all of them get tough sentences too.
Yeah, I remember reading something where somebody was like, if your kid was trying to make the Olympic team and he was a team doctor, that the parents were just like, shh, so you can make the Olympic team. You know what I'm saying?
Like, fault too. Somebody knew.
Okay.
You know what's kind of crazy to me? I kind of wonder, like, why aren't more people criminally culpable for these actions? Like, if you knew and you didn't say anything, like, why isn't your ass in court too?
But how would they know anything unless somebody just snitches and be like, well, this person knew? Like, it's almost like you have to snitch on yourself about knowing to know that somebody else knew.
Yeah, I'm sure Dr. Nassar knew. Who else knew? Somebody needed to say something. Like, like when you're talking about the president and the athletic director stepping down, when you're talking about the football and the basketball coaches of a major university, what I'm saying, being asked to stand down. Like, this shit reminds me of what happened with Penn State and Joe Paterno and Jerry Sandusky, when Jerry Sandusky was basically
another Big Ten school. Big Ten is fucked up.
Which is, what I'm saying, like, niggas is just on campus wilding out, like fucking little boys in the shower and stuff like that, raping little boys in the shower and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, like, so nobody knew nothing. Everybody knows.
Yeah, I think this whole the sports aspect of it, and everybody wants to be somebody, and like, kind of similarly to with the actresses who would be going to get cast. Like, unfortunately, it's kind of like a stupid move, like a power move that people are putting up with just to see the big picture or to get to the next thing.
Yeah, but how do you live with yourself? Disgusting. How do you live with yourself knowing that you sacrifice? But man, I don't
know. You get a gold medal for the United States of America.
So, man, fuck them niggas.
I mean, I don't agree. I think I would have to tell somebody, because I don't know. I would think immediately they would bring somebody else in there, right? Or something else would change, or they wouldn't believe you. But I mean, I guess that's what happened this time. Is somebody said something for everybody to say something.
Yeah, Tuna, you have your hand up. I can't tell.
No, I don't. Sorry.
Yeah.
But let's say
scary hours.
Let's say whatever. let's say you like let's say I said you told somebody. You don't know how far up the chain goes that people are covering it up. You can tell somebody and they could fire you and no one believe you. But then I guess your conscience to be clear though.
Yeah, you can't work in that. If you know about that and you're working in that environment and you're not okay with that, nah, you can't see that happen that much.
Yeah.
Or maybe you turn a blind eye because you think it was just one person, but nah, that's too much.
But it's never.
And I didn't read. I don't even know if there's accounts about like exactly what he did. But I don't know if I even want to know.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, do you really want to like jump all the way into that shit? Because that's some real heavy fucking stuff going on.
Oh yeah, they said the judge. That was a big thing too. When people are arguing about the woman judge who ripped up like his letter, and he was asking that the women did not tell their stories, that he wouldn't have to listen to them.
Oh yeah, let me
people actually got on her.
Let me give some context about that. So what Les is talking about is during Dr. Nassar's sentencing, all of the victims came forward and were reading statements that he had to listen to. And he basically wrote a letter to the judge saying or requesting that they stopped that sentencing portion because he didn't want to hear the stories anymore. So when it was time to sentence him to jail for the rest of his life, the judge, kind of went ape shit, so to speak, and talking about like not wanting to, not really caring about how he felt about the situation. And people were going at the judge. And what I find interesting about that is maybe they must not know anything about the way that judges talk to people from the bench, because judges be saying wild shit to people.
Yeah, they sure do.
All the time. That's very normal. So to see people have this blowback about the judge, that's not professional. Nigga, have you seen the judge? Don't fuck about no professionalism, nigga.
And then it's like
it's their courtroom. They can do what they want.
Something women like.
Yeah, it's their courtroom. They do whatever the fuck they want, and I'm sure her being a woman has something to do with it, because when male judges do this shit, y'all niggas seen Judge Joe Brown. Judge Joe Brown always calling niggas crackheads from the bench and shit. Like,
be mad disrespectful.
I think people think that's fake.
Yeah, it's not. That shit is real. That shit is real life.
That is real, because I've been in court a couple of times, and them niggas is like, you really like, yes, ma'am, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, what you go to court for?
They'll embarrass you in front of everybody in there. Life.
Are you gonna answer?
It was a long drive at night from my office all the way to Reston when I lived in Virginia. Let's just say that.
Wow. You was out here drunk driving like a motherfucker.
Not guilty. My case got thrown out.
Whatever. Well, you talking about Dr. Larry Nassar being some real shit. I'll tell you about some not real shit that's turning into some real shit about some shit that's not actually real. Black Panther. Black Panther is a divisive topic. So the premiere came out yesterday. Today's Tuesday. So the premiere came out yesterday. Everybody's saying that Black Panther is the greatest shit since sliced bread. But for the last month or so, there's been like this little war between Africans and African Americans because of, nigga, I don't even know. Like, some people are saying, well, people from, let me see how I can say this without sounding completely ignorant. All right. African people from whichever country that they may be from. And I noticed that some African people in the UK have had a lot to say about this topic as well, are basically saying to some degree that this is disrespectful, that the movie, no part of the movie was shot in any place in Africa, despite the fact that the movie and the country of Wakanda.
I mean, that whole shit is basically CGI, right?
Listen, let me just.
I don't think so.
There's
some parts of the movie that's in the city, right?
Listen, I'm gonna go through that. So they're basically saying that they feel disrespected that the movie was not shot in some part of Africa. Now, Marvel shot the movie in like South Korea and all these other Asian countries and all these other British countries. And in the past, they shot movies in other places, not necessarily on location for wherever the country that they were in, but they've shot in foreign places. And when I say foreign, I mean outside of the United States before for movies, but they did not do any part of this movie in Africa. So Africans have taken some form of issue with that. And then African Americans, or Black people, as I like to refer to them, we're basically saying, nigga, what the fuck? Like, who cares? Like, whatever. So there's been some sort of beef, like slowly escalating beef. Like every single day, there's like some really, really ridiculous shit. Like I saw somebody say African Americans love Black Panther, but hate Africans. And then somebody retweeted and said, Africans hate Black people, but love white people. The only person that isn't laughing is Tunde, which coincidentally he's the only person from an African country on this podcast. So Tunde, being that you are the resident Nigerian here, and most of us are not American born, actually. That's weird.
Just you.
No. You're the only one that's not American born.
Oh, so I'm sorry. So we're like 50,
our parents
50.
are just from elsewhere.
Right. Yeah, so all of us have differing ethnicities and nationalities, but for the most part identify as Black American, with the exception of Tunde, who identifies as Nigerian. Tunde, as a resident Nigerian and the only African representative that we have on this podcast, what is your take on what is happening with Black Panther right now between your people and our people?
Wow.
Yeah, between your two halves.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Cool.
And just keep in mind, you are now the resident spokesperson. Everything you say is for the entirety of the continent and of your countrymen.
Right. If any African listeners are mad, please direct that to top_7.
No pressure.
Whatever. So I can see the validity in the argument that people would get mad that they didn't film any part of the movie in any African country. Because when you do film movies in a particular city or country, that brings income into the city or wherever they shoot the movie. Because you have to hire people to move stuff, you have to hire food people. It just brings income to the local people. So I can understand that argument. On the other hand, I don't care because Black Panther is going to be lit and I'm going to watch it anyway. So
right.
So at the end of the day, so I mean, as far as the tweet you saw, did you refer to? I saw you retweeted earlier. That's one of the few tweets I saw today because I'm not on Twitter as much. White people, I'm air quotes African people because people always want to say African in reference to all 54 countries on the continent, but African people for the most part don't love white people. Like we have a different relationship with white people than African Americans, sure, because we have different histories, but imperialism and colonialism is real too. So most Nigerians I know don't like white people. Especially Britain or England. So I don't get that. And most African Americans I know also don't dislike Africans also. So I think there's a lot of speculation going on. So
hold on. So wait, I had to read the tweet again. I said it wrong earlier. The tweet said African Americans hate Africans but love Wakanda. Go figure. And somebody responded, Africans hate African Americans but love white people. That's what the exact.
Okay, so first of all, Wakanda is not a real place. So that's real.
I guess that's what they're saying though. Like, why y'all hyped about Wakanda? Y'all never be hyped about to know what's really going on in any of these countries or whatever. But
nigga, why should
I don't know? It's all dumb to me because.
But that's America in general though. Like Americans don't really care about what the fuck is going on in the world.
Americans don't care about what's happening in the state next to them. Like,
exactly.
Sure don't.
Nigga, I don't give a fuck what's happening in the next city. Like,
exactly. So,
I didn't see any of that debate.
Americans are very American centric. So they don't care about what's going on in France. They don't care about what's going on in Nigeria. Like they don't care about what's going on in China. So
Americans are very me first. Me, nigga.
Yeah,
me.
It's a fucking movie. Just watch it or don't. And I'm gonna watch it. So I might watch it twice.
And the weird part is in all this weird debate, nobody's saying boycott the movie or don't go see the movie. So it's what are we even arguing about Africans? And nobody fucking said that about Black people.
It's Twitter. Niggas love to argue.
The filming though, I see the point in that. Dang, why didn't they film, over there? I don't know where they filmed though, so I don't even know what the real facts are.
Yeah, they
filmed
in a bunch of countries. It just, they just never made it to Africa.
Okay.
Didn't they film part of Civil War in
South Korea or some shit, something real random?
I thought it was. I'm talking about Civil War. The opening scene. They said it was Nigeria, but I don't know if it was.
You talking about Sokovia?
No, the opening scene where they blew up that part of that building.
Yeah, that was in Sokovia. I don't even think they filmed that shit in Africa.
Oh, okay.
No. The opening scene.
The opening scene. They said it was Nigeria in the opening scene.
I mean,
Age of Ultron.
That's Age of Ultron?
No. Listen.
That's when
Listen, I literally just watched Civil War like 2 days ago. He's talking about Sokovia, which was supposed to be like whatever. Because the whole movie's based on the fucking Sokovia, of course. We're not going to nerd out.
Right, but the fight that happened was between the Hulk and Iron Man. That's what he's talking about. That was in Africa.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about.
No, he's talking about nerds. Right. He's talking about
the opening scene where they're tracking the guy who stole that gas, nerve gas from the building, and they drove like the dump trucks through it.
Right.
Yeah.
That was Civil War.
I might have a problem because I literally can watch movies and then leave, and I couldn't really tell you any scene. I'd just be like, did I like it? Yeah. I liked it or I didn't like it. I can't tell you shit else about it like a week later.
That's because you be.
I feel like this is also backed up because niggas have read these comics. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
I've actually read some of the comics, but like I like Civil War, like all these I've seen, and
you don't remember?
Can't really tell you like what scenes were.
You like it's just violence.
Stay off the weed. No problem.
I don't want to go too far off topic, but we'll talk about Marvel movies. Did y'all see the
wait?
Let's trailer for Ant-Man.
Let's finish the Black Panther conversation, nigga.
Oh, my bad. I know.
We can talk about Ant-Man too. Dez, how do you feel about what's going on with the Black Panther Civil War?
The Black Panther Civil War. I feel like people are, niggas just want something to complain about. I've heard a lot of people being like, "Oh yeah, they just throwing us a bone, and niggas is giving Marvel all their money," and I'm like, but we also always talk about diversity and inclusion in movies. Now it doesn't happen. This is a movie that is, for all intents and purposes,
right, and still really find something to complain about.
They have made it really black, like from the costume.
Nigga, they had a purple carpet.
Like I appreciated that. It's like, man, this movie feels like it's for me. Like I feel like how white people must feel when they watch any movie at all. Like I feel represented and like spoken to. About it. I can't get one movie about hero. How many versions of Taken are there? There's the one where these nigga crashed a plane. There's the original Taken. Now there's this shit where he's on the train. Like Liam Neeson can kill everybody. I can't get one black superhero.
I mean, we had several black superheroes before.
That's true. We had Meteor Man, Blank Man. We had Blade. Who really
Meteor Man is the greatest.
Like shout out to Wesley Snipes and evading taxes. Like I fucks with that. No, I will say this. I'll say this, right? The reason that I think people are so torn about this whole Wakanda thing, this whole like,
how are you torn?
Niggas just loved, huh?
I don't even understand how niggas are torn, but okay.
Right. It's a fake country and people need something to argue about. Like that's the thing. I think people are more like, yo, they're saying that we as black people are getting played. They're marketing to you, and now they're marketing to you, and you niggas are falling for it like dummies. I was like, yo, we falling for every other Marvel movie. Can I genuinely enjoy this one and make an event out of it?
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, it's not falling for it. You've been asking for it, now you get it. So
right. Here's I have a personal. When you get Black Panther, you have to think like short order after you get Black Panther in his debut in the comics with Fantastic Four and all that, like. You realize Black Panther becomes an Avenger. He's a kick-ass Avenger. At some point, they rip his vocal cords out. And he can't talk anymore. And then he has to communicate telepathically. Then he loses the crown. Then he comes back. And then when he's the king of the city, he leaves the city to go be with Storm. And then when he comes back, Namor destroys the city. Like, after Black Panther is established as this amazing boss-ass character, he takes L after L after L after L. And I don't know if I can watch in the comic books. I don't know if I can watch it on the big screen. Like, niggas don't even know who named half of Wakanda. He kills like a third of the people. He drowns them in the thing with
okay.
Yeah, this nigga.
I'm just saying, like, that happens in the comic books, and like I don't want that to happen on screen, but I have a feeling. Right? If you look at the trailer where they fighting all these Outriders, where are they fighting them? They're fighting them in Wakanda. Outriders have 4 arms. Like, it's regular niggas fighting. The fuck was that?
This nigga just went way off.
My brother popping in my room.
Oh, I was like, I just saw something move out of the door. They got
I got some mail. They just threw my
for Mortal Kombat. All I'm saying is, I want this movie to be dope. I don't want us to get this black country and it be destroyed in the process. I don't want that. I don't give a fuck if it's Thanos or whoever. I don't want that.
This nigga just.
All right. You really got really into it.
Right. What was you gonna say, Tunde?
Sorry.
So, when Des was talking, it made me think of something. So I was talking. This was last week. I was talking to two of my students, and it was 2 8th graders, and it's a black boy and a black girl. And I'm talking to them about. They were asking me. Oh, it was about when Chimamanda Adichie, the French reporter asked her, were there any bookstores or libraries or translation bookstores in Nigeria? So I was watching that because we had free time at the end of class. I was watching that on my computer, and I was telling them what happened. And then one of my the boy said, "Well, I don't know. Are there?" Because he don't know. He's the 8th grader. So
let me jump in right there.
Yeah, of course.
That kid is a kid who asked that question.
Yeah,
the journalist who asked that question.
I know this. So I didn't get mad or anything. I'm just like, yeah, of course there is. So I'm like, let me show you, like, Nigeria is a country like any other country. So of course there's poor people and then there's rich people. The only difference is that Nigeria really doesn't have a middle class. So I was like, I put up my computer. I said, let me show you pictures of like the more affluent parts of Nigeria. So and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know that, Africa could look like that.
They're not taught that.
And so then I was like, let me tell you something. Like, you were born and raised in Portland, and you probably don't realize this, but imagine going a whole day, right, and not seeing any white people. Like, it was like, wow, I couldn't imagine. Right? So like, that's the feeling I'm gonna get when I go see Black Panther. Like, I'm gonna go to a movie. I'm gonna see, because I plan on going like on the more black side of town. I'm gonna sit at a theater full of black people. I'm gonna look at the screen. I'm gonna see all black people, and for like 2 hours, I'm gonna get like lost in just like this bliss of blackness.
It's like Django.
And then I'm gonna leave the movie theater and I'm gonna walk out. Yeah, and I'm gonna see.
They're gonna be mad annoying, yo. Let's put that out there right now. They're gonna be annoying as hell.
Yeah,
in that shit.
I feel like everybody
was like, I was like, nah. If you niggas break out the swag surf,
niggas is gonna be in there with kente cloth on and coming in crazy.
I already feel like niggas are already doing too much about
already.
But I mean, Des said something earlier, and it was actually germane to my point, where he talked about he's going to feel the same way that white people feel when they watch anything. Mm-hmm. And I realized I was thinking about it before, but when he said that, crystallized something for me. Like, white people don't give a shit about watching all white movies because it's normal to them. Like, they don't expect to see anything else. When they see black people, that's when they're like, wait, what the fuck am I watching? Right? I will very much appreciate, God, if this ever happens, when we get to a point in blackness where seeing people on black TV doesn't even elicit a reaction. Mm-hmm. Where it's just like, I'm finna go see the movie. Like, where we don't need to celebrate the fact that we're going to get a black Marvel movie because the black Marvel movies are going to be the norm, where we don't have to champion and politic and start a GoFundMe to raise money so that people can watch, a black TV show that stars a black girl in college, because that will be normal, where we don't have to fight for representation for other people of color or for people who identify as something other than their gender or whatever, it's another sexuality or whatever, because all of these things will become normal to the point where these things are no longer something to be celebrated. Very much. And I think that's sort of what's driving this Black Panther thing in itself, is that we don't get these sort of opportunities very often to have a moment like this. So we're absolutely doing the fucking most, because Lord knows, who knows when we're going to be able to all rally around something like this again. As far as Black Panther is concerned, there's no way that I'm not going to see that movie. Somebody put out some Twitter story like 2 weeks ago about Stan Lee like sexually assaulting the nurses or some shit like that, and I was like, "Fuck Stan Lee," but I'm still going to watch.
How y'all gonna act, bitch?
Yeah, fuck Stan Lee, but I'm still gonna. I mean, even if it was true or not,
allegiance is to Coogler.
It doesn't.
To all them other black people in there.
I don't even care. Like my allegiance isn't to anybody. I just want to see the fucking movie. Like the movie looks crazy. The everything about the shit.
People really said it was really good.
Yeah,
everybody said it was good, and they said the story was one of the best stories.
Everything. It's just gonna be fire.
About how, like Ryan Coogler, like that is phenomenal. Like his movies thus far, Fruitvale Station, Creed, and then he didn't do.
And he's so young.
He did something else, and then it was Black Panther, and I was like, this dude's done nothing but hits.
Yeah.
But that's because he got a chance. I think it was Forrest Whitaker who put him on at the very beginning and gave him a chance, and he's just really good.
Yeah, I mean,
he's like really chill and like, yeah.
So while we're talking,
he already said it's breaking like numbers as far as sales.
Yeah, so they said they're expected to do 100, somewhere between 100 and 120 million that first week, which is the most money
that shit gonna be sold out.
Which is what that's like the highest. It's like the highest gross for a debut for a Marvel movie. And I said
I bought my tickets 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I bought my tickets already, and then I'm pretty sure the shit's gonna do $1 billion, and it's probably gonna be. I feel confident saying that it's probably going to be like the fastest $1 billion Marvel movie in like Marvel history, because I feel like everybody wants to go see this shit. Something that everybody else was watching that I don't understand is the Grammys. Yeah, so the Grammys were Sunday, which is like the Grammys are like an all-day fucking event now. Like niggas start doing that shit like Friday night, and they just carry that shit through the weekend. Mm-hmm. I don't know who was nominated. I don't know who won shit. I don't fucking know. I do know that Bruno Mars won, and niggas were very upset about that because apparently Bruno Mars is culturally appropriating New Jack Swing, and his album is basically just a bunch of covers for a bunch of other popular songs. And people were saying a whole bunch of 5-syllable words about why Bruno Mars.
They really went in. Niggas can't even read a tweet no more without a dictionary. God damn.
Why Bruno Mars won, why we're okay that he won, why white people are okay with giving him the award. And I feel like I read this argument about white people and the Grammys and not respecting black art every single year. And every single year, these niggas are still watching this shit. Do y'all watch?
And then I feel like every year we have that same argument about why y'all looking for the white man to give you an award, but then we watch this shit every time looking for Beyonce and looking for Rihanna and everybody else. So it's like,
but then black people do, like, black artists snub BET awards. Yeah, like they won't go, and the BET awards is usually actually not bad. It's pretty fun.
I mean, it's gotten better. It's most certainly gotten better over the years. I don't watch the BET Awards either, but when I do peek in from time to time, I'm like, oh, like this looks way better than it did like 6 years ago when I was watching it in law school. And I was like, what the fuck is on my TV talking about the BET Awards? So the BET Awards have come a long way, but you know, like the Grammys are like the highest honor. You can have an argument about why it's the highest honor, you know, what the prestige is. And if you want, your subtext could be niggas just want to be approved by white people or validated by white people. I
don't think it's that deep. I think we try to make things like more deep than it is, because that's a personal thing. Like I do know some people who are like, you know what, I wouldn't want any award because I don't care about that. Like they're not going to determine whatever. At the same time, they're also not mad if somebody would want to go, because a lot of times those people who win awards that nobody's ever heard of or whatever, and not nobody because they won their award, but you know, their shit blows up and that's a good look for them too. So, I mean, it's like, do what you feel. Yeah. And then that was kind of weird. That one young lady who won, Alicia Cara. I don't know how to say her name.
That's my Alicia Cara. That's my white boo.
Yeah. Yeah. And they kind of had that one. I kind of get the upset about that when they're like, yo, you're not a new artist. You've been out for like 3 years. Like this song has been out forever.
Who cares? Like, like none of that shit even matters. Like whenever people
right. Like it really doesn't matter.
Or best, those niggas been grinding for years. Like, it ain't like best new artist be some nigga that came out like 15 years ago who finally got a song to blow up. Like,
right. Nobody just like started their SoundCloud link and now they got a Grammy. Like, it's not.
Nobody does that shit.
So I want to say I didn't watch the Grammys neither. The Bruno Mars thing, I think people are really mad, but I also feel like Bruno Mars is not like difference. Like Bruno Mars has immersed himself and become a part of the culture in a way that somebody like Justin Timberlake didn't.
Dude, you know what? I'm gonna ask this question, and I don't mean to be rude when I ask this, but I am going to ask the question. Who the fuck cares about the culture? Like, what is the culture? What is the
people just want to get credit. People care about credit because that's what they say. Bruno Mars, like, yo, he gives us credit.
Pay your respects to that. But I'm gonna say this, right? I didn't watch Grammys, but the only highlights I did watch because I feel like it's Cardi B. Like, I was so happy to see that girl. Like, I don't even know if she won anything. I was just happy to see her there because she still seems to be like herself, and I appreciate that. Like, she's still just like a chick from the Bronx. I appreciate that. Like, everybody's rooting for her, and it feels good to have somebody.
Celebrities anymore.
Yeah, I don't really.
It's like honestly, like I'm like, why every day we're talking about celebrities?
Niggas, one at a time, please.
Cardi B is the one that everybody likes because it's like, yo, we literally watched her be a crooked tooth stripper on Instagram, who everybody was like, yo, she funny as fuck. And now look at her, she's doing great, and everybody's rooting for her. I'm rooting for her. Everybody rooting for her.
Why are you saying I'm rooting for her? What is that? What is that shit?
That's the Cardi B got to him.
Yeah. Tunde, anything you want to say?
I ain't watch that shit. I don't watch award shows. I don't watch award shows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the point of putting yourself through all that angst. Like, you know that every year it's gonna be somebody who's black who's up for album of the year, and they're gonna give it to somebody who doesn't deserve it, and the timeline's gonna get mad, and the cycle can repeat itself. It's happened like 3 major times that I can remember. I think Beyonce lost to Adele, Beyonce lost to Beck, Kendrick lost to that white rapper. I forgot his name.
Macklemore.
Yeah, whatever his name is, I don't care. Yeah, that guy. So we know the game plan by now, and we put ourselves through it every year. Well, y'all put yourselves through it every year because I never cared about the Grammys.
Niggas do this to yourselves.
You guys write your think pieces. You'll be back next year. Giving them more ratings. So fuck it. Whatever. I don't care.
I think it was just like the aftermath was just so like weird to me because people were almost looking at it like sports teams. Like they were like, who thought Jay-Z was gonna win? He didn't win nothing. Like people were so adamant about who lost, and it was just weird to me. Like this shit was mad weird to me. Like why are we talking about celebrities all day? And like it's just weird. And even with Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Blue, and the way they were talking about the videos of the family and stuff like that. And it's just, I don't know. I think we're like way too consumed with these people's lives and like making up what we think they think about everything.
Yeah, celebrity obsession. That's one thing that America is really good at.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking disgusting. But you know what else is pretty fucking disgusting? This next topic that we're about to get into. So, in today's podcast, we're going to talk about something that had Twitter in a fucking uproar. Sorry if this seems Twitter-centric, but who gives a fuck, right? So this young lady put out a story. Wait, was it a young lady that put out the story? Or was it a dude? No. It was a dude. It was a guy had shared a text message that he had with his friend.
Mm-hmm.
The context of the text message went as such. The young man took out his lady. They were meeting with his lady's friend at a restaurant. They eat at the restaurant. The bill comes. The young man pays for himself and the young lady that he went with. And the friend went to pay for her food, but the charger didn't go through. So the guy said that the girl he came with was upset that the guy didn't offer to pay for her friend. So the person who posted the text message said, "Is my homie wrong?" Before we get into any of that, do you guys feel that he should have paid for her food?
Yeah.
Okay. Both of you feel like he should have paid? Des?
Should have? What's the other word that would be?
Listen,
I would have.
Wait.
Because I'm also not mad that he didn't.
Wait. I'm gonna nuance
okay.
that later. When I say should have paid for her food, I mean in
like
that
should
moment,
not have happened.
Like in that moment, like since she was clearly like hurting at that moment and probably embarrassed.
But did we talk about the price too?
Listen, the price of the food.
Did you mention that it was $131
the young lady's? Wow.
Oh, excuse me.
Wow. The young lady's food was $130.
Young lady.
Wait, so her card declined. I just want to get
her card declined on her $130.
Yeah, you gotta help out in that situation. You gotta help out.
Also, it wasn't his.
But she gotta owe you though. She gotta pay you back.
Listen, what'd you say, Tunde?
Also, it wasn't his idea to go out.
Okay.
In the first place, right?
Just for a recap, young man goes out with a young woman to go out to eat with the young woman's friend. Young man, bill comes. The young woman bills $130. Young man pays for himself and for his girl, does not offer to pay for the $130 bill. The girl that he came with is upset, and he wants to know if he did anything wrong. So, Tunde, do you think he should have paid for the food? And by should, I mean in that. Now I'm not talking about that she obligated. Just should he in that moment have paid for the food?
Yeah.
Once I saw the card.
Wait, Des, it's not your turn yet.
Damn, nigga.
Well, just wait, nigga. Damn. Lex, do you think he should have paid for the food?
Yes, if he could cover it, he should have paid for it.
Oh, he said he couldn't cover it because bills were due the next week.
No, if he had it right then, he should have went ahead and did it.
Okay, Des, you can finally talk now. Do you feel like he should have paid for the food, keeping in mind that he said that he could not afford to cover the food because he was broke and he was going to get paid like the following week?
Oh, I'm sorry. If he was broke, then no. What? No.
But the young lady he was with, his girlfriend, ended up paying for it.
You do that just now.
Hold on. First of all, so who ended up paying for it? The girl's friend?
The girlfriend? The girl paid for her friend.
So did he pay for both of them?
No, he paid for himself and the girl. The girl paid for her friend.
Okay, well, if I'm the girlfriend and that's my homie, then I need to pull my card out.
Okay, Des, you're saying what now?
Who?
Des, what did you just say?
I said, look, because he didn't have it, right? If he would have had it and old girl, her card declined, like initially, I'm not going to pay for your food. I came with your friend, date, then you're the friend. Okay, friend, you buy your food, I'll buy our food. Your card declines. If I can, I will help you out.
Man.
And I didn't have it. Girl that I'm on a date with, you need to take care of your friend.
Listen.
Pay for it, and you have to get me back. Venmo me that shit like ASAP.
Tunde.
I changed my answer. I didn't know that he couldn't afford it. If he can't and he said he paid for himself and his girl.
Right.
Already. So yeah, no, don't pay. No, she can pay for her friend.
But I think the bottom line is as soon as the waiter comes back, like then both of them, like it shouldn't have been that much talking. Like both of them should have been like, I got it. Like it shouldn't even have been a thing.
Okay.
Like as the girlfriend, I would have been like, yo, I got you. As the dude, he could have been like, I got you, and talked to his girlfriend later.
Yeah. So
or figure it out later. Because I refuse to believe that young lady like was out of town with zero and ran up 131.
I got a question.
Yes.
Was the meal all together? Was it?
I don't know what it was. I don't know the.
I was say, was it $390?
I don't know what the dynamics was of the check. It just said that
if I paid $260 for me and one other person, and your bill was $130, then okay, yeah, that's a little exorbitant. That's almost that's a decent amount of money. If you just ran up $130, like
yeah, that don't make sense.
You was broke when you was eating whatever the fuck you was eating.
That's when you act like you can't find your card and you do this number like, oh, you don't even bring a card out to get declined and you know you don't got it. Like I've done that before where I just threw the card on the table and was like, ooh, I don't seem to have my shit. Like if you gotta do what you gotta do,
You can't.
That's interesting. I
130.
But I would never have this problem. Is all I know.
I thought about this, and I thought about it a lot longer than I probably should have been thinking about it. And I thought to myself, if I did not have the money, and I was looking at my girl and her friend, and they were looking at me like, "Are you going to pay this bill?" And I ain't got it, I'm not paying the bill. So there's that. If I do have it, I'm a little bit more dicey on that. I kind of feel like I wouldn't want my girl's friend to, I mean, she's already embarrassed, so I wouldn't want her to be like more embarrassed. But at the same time, like I'd have some questions about why the fuck her debit card don't work. And I feel like I need to pull my lady to the side and be like, hey, what the fuck is happening right now? Like your friend ran this bill up and she talking about her debit card got closed. She said her debit account had gotten closed from the bank, which happens.
That shit happen all the time, low key.
Yeah, I can unlock my card from Bank of America because they'll send me like a notification and shit. And I'm just like, the way that the dude phrased it, he made it seem as if the young lady was expecting him to pay for the food. And I just kind of feel like, I think I would pay it because I feel like not paying it might make me come across as an asshole. But then like on the other hand, I'm like, if I ain't got it, then nobody's getting it. So there's that. There's not even a debate. If I ain't got it.
Because you're being a responsible adult, my nigga. Like you can go into debt over somebody's beluga, sturgeon, caviar.
As a matter of fact, if we were going out to dinner and I knew that I didn't have a lot of money, I would have told my girl, hey,
right, like why are we going here getting this many drinks and stuff?
If we're going to this dinner and you want me to cover this bill, I need you to lower your expectations on what you plan on eating this evening because I don't have it.
Yeah, the communication wasn't right on that.
Can we go to Applebee's instead?
I mean,
you get full off of Applebee's same way you get full anywhere else, girl.
We can have like dollar gardens.
I feel like when you're broke, you have to have proper broke etiquette.
Yeah.
Proper broke etiquette means that you know where you're going, and if you know that you can't afford there, you need to try to pull a fucking audible. Hey, look, niggas, I ain't got it like that. Can we go somewhere else? Can we not?
But nobody will shame you for that.
If you go, you get an appetizer and chill out.
Or hey, look, if y'all get me this time, I got y'all next time. Like you got to communicate your brokenness, because when people think that you have money and then they find out that you don't have money, they're a lot more angry. If they knew beforehand that you didn't have no money, then niggas know how to act accordingly. So I kind of feel like, I don't know, like I would pay if I had it, I would pay, but then me and my lady gonna have to have a conversation after that about what the fuck just transpired and why the fuck we was out here and her friend ain't had no fucking money, and why her friend was looking at me like I was supposed to pay after I already paid for us, knowing that I don't get paid till next week and niggas is hungry and shit.
Yeah. Because it's one thing.
So
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, I think there's also, like you said, there's broke etiquette, but there's also just like expectations, right? Like I'm the kind of person, I get frustrated when we're all going out as a group to dinner. And then we're all like, we all throw our card down, and there's that one person is like, oh, well, I had this. Is this nigga? Put your card in the middle where everybody else.
But you don't be no situation, and like G said, if you know you don't need to be there. Right. I agree. That's why I said I don't have these problems. I don't go out when I don't have money.
Wait, so let's talk about group.
You can't pull that at the end of the game. At the end of the game, you like, oh, I'm gonna itemize on the receipt. No, nigga, everybody threw their card in already.
Wait, let's talk about that. So group dinner etiquette, right? What is y'all
full-blown Twitter conversation?
What is y'all group dinner etiquette? Well, how do y'all going out to dinner? It's 15 people going to dinner.
We split it.
What is y'all group dinner etiquette?
We split it evenly. Because everybody finna get a bunch of shit. We split it evenly. We gonna get bottles at different ends of the table. Like I like wine. If I get wine for me and my wife, and you want some wine, you can have some of the wine. You gonna have some of the bill too.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay. Lex, what is your group dinner etiquette?
To not go. I got shit to do.
That's real.
For me, honestly, if it has to be a group of like 6 or lower. Otherwise, this shit does get sloppy. Like I went to a brunch recently, and I think it depends on who the first person who grabs it and starts doing it. You know, that's what people do. And she grabbed it, and everybody started circling. So I said, "Well, circle my shit." You know what I mean? And put my card number down too, if that's what we're doing.
That always comes up short.
But
just
exactly. And then it's like, who ordered the gratuity? But
you're right.
That's how they do it. That's how they did it. If we're at a dinner or something, my etiquette is I'm prepared to throw my card out and everybody just run them joints.
Right.
Knowing that, I'm paying attention to what the fuck I got, and I'm not going crazy either, you know? So
all right.
But yeah, I'm not going unless I just got paid.
Today, where's your group dinner etiquette?
I'm a flex. Like after a certain amount of people, I say 5 or 6 is like a good amount. More than that, I don't know.
Because that's whack when you got 20 cards anyway.
Yeah.
Like then it turns into 2 or 3 people are like, oh, Venmo me. And it's like, you probably gonna come up short doing that shit too.
Yeah, so I mean,
yeah. I'm the nigga that asks for split checks immediately.
Yeah.
I'm the
like,
nigga.
Nothing wrong with doing that at the beginning.
Listen, as soon
and
as
some people don't do that though.
Listen, as soon as we get to that bitch, and the waiter is like, hey, but by bitch, I mean the restaurant, not person. As soon as we get to that bitch, and the waiter comes
like,
over.
Me and her.
The waiter is like, yeah, so how are we doing the bill? I got her. This is us right here.
Yeah.
I'm doing the finger thing. This is us. Whatever she got, and put the shit on my bill, but I'm only paying for us. That's me. You know why that's me? Because I am not going to be here arguing with niggas about who paid for what. I don't do split evenly checks because I don't know you niggas like that. I don't do that shit. Right? Y'all talking about 6 and 7 people, and that's fine. I've been to group dinners with like 12 and 15 people and shit, group lunches or whatever. I don't like doing them shits, mostly because I don't like being around that many people at the same time. Because you gotta try to have a conversation with one person, you try to talk nigga across the table. This is a big fucking mess. But I am definitely the nigga that asks for separate checks, and then I dare people to say something to me about it, so I can flip the whole fucking table over and go home, which is where I wanted to go in the first place.
What you got to do is be the first one to like dip anyway and be like, yo, I need my check, you know, so I can go ahead and dip out. That's what you do too.
I absolutely do. Hey,
let me go ahead and close out.
Let me go ahead and we're done. We're done. Me and her right here. If you're not watching this podcast, fast forward to like 55 minutes on YouTube and just watch this finger thing. Me and her right here.
Y'all already know what you're doing.
Yeah, me and her.
Right here.
So we together. Because because niggas be going to brunch and the niggas be ordering like wild shit, and then niggas be like, oh, we're gonna split the check evenly. And it's like, nah, nigga, I don't even drink mimosas, so we're not paying for that shit.
So I'm not gonna lie. Like brunch doesn't ever get me. Brunch isn't my thing. It's dinner, right? Because dinner is when niggas start ordering wine. You getting all this.
I'm not as fancy as you did, so I don't even know.
No. I'm saying like I'll go out with the group. My thing is this, right? I usually go out. If I go out, I got this one group of like my wife's friends. We go out to dinner. When we go out, it's basically like, all right, I know I'm gonna need at least it shouldn't be above 100, right? The split's not normally above 100, but that's because niggas are ordering bottles of wine and we're splitting it amongst like 9 or 10 people. You're not gonna rack up a $900.
That's cheap though.
Right, you're not gonna rack up a $900 bill.
I don't even drink wine, so I'm not paying for no shit. And people will try to play you too. Oh, nigga, you being cheap. So,
right, you don't know the situation.
So you're not being fair if you don't partake. But I'm gonna partake. If I go and we drinking wine, I'm drinking wine.
Niggas call me cheap. I'll be like, dog, I've been called worse by better. So
I've been called worse by better.
I don't give a fuck. That's embarrassing.
You do gotta stick to your own stuff. Because at least what you're not doing is you're not disrespecting nobody else. So
nigga, that's embarrassing. To who? Nigga, I'm going home with my money in my pocket and I'm not paying for anybody else's fucking food. I'm gonna sleep peacefully tonight. You know what's gonna make me sleep unpeacefully? Is if I ended up paying $50 extra for shit I didn't even partake in.
But that's why you gotta partake in the shit. I'm with Tunde. I'm a flex. Y'all want to get a bottle? Okay, we getting a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a bottle of water. I ain't fucking with y'all niggas.
I know people I do that with. Like they're the ones who try to organize the dinner, and they're the ones who gonna be like, yeah, bring us shots, bring us this. And I know that they're going to be also the ones to be like, yeah, man, just give me like 40, you know? So it's like, okay, cool. Y'all, if y'all going to do all that ordering, it's going to be on y'all money.
Dog, we did a group brunch before we left DC with our friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? We about to leave. We want to do a nice little, you know what I'm saying, get together, blah, blah, whatever like that. Did a group brunch, had the RSVP, told people the exact amount of money the shit was going to cost, had the price on there, everything. This is the menu, blah, blah, whatever. We get to the brunch, niggas is eating, whatever. Right? One dude paid for him and his girl and one other person. Right? Just threw some extra money in there just cause, right? And we still came up like 2 people short.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just
niggas
like,
forget to add in taxes and all that other stuff. And it's like,
I can't believe you. I was like, dog, this is why I don't do stuff like this. This is why I hate niggas. This is why I hate niggas. Yeah. So moral of the story is, if somebody tell you that somebody's being sexually harassed or assaulted, please believe them. Black people, please, Africans versus African Americans. It's not that fucking deep. We didn't even talk about the All-Star teams. Oh well. Niggas, stop watching.
I don't think we need to.
No, niggas, stop watching the Grammys because hey, they're never gonna respect us. And stop going out to group dinners.
Communicate your brokenness.
Yeah, communicate. Yes. Put the communicate your brokenness episode.
That's the name of your episode.
I appreciate that. If nobody got nothing to say, does anybody have anything to say? All right, then. It's episode 15, Negroes with a Podcast, NWAP cast. Fuck with us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Carrier Pigeon, the brand new website, NWAPcast.com. We look forward to hearing from y'all. We love y'all. Peace.
Peace.